Hello, I've missed you. I know you miss me. I know that. I took a break for a number of reasons. Yeah, I had to do some inner standing of Raven. So I'm going to make this video for you because I hope it will help you have an inner standing of yourself and what you're doing with your life. So this is hopefully I won't swear too much or at all. So I have a theory that a lot of people have been asking me a lot of questions actually while I've been away. And I've also encountered a number of friends that I've bumped into that I didn't know were going to trigger a huge spiritual healing within inside of me. And I want to help you with how I view, how I think I'm winning life, and maybe it will help you. So I've missed you all. So I love everybody. I'm so happy that you've all popped on. So thank you very much. So I did a little, a chart, and this is just my opinion. I always say this is my opinion. Do your own research. And this is do your own research into yourselves as well. So first of all, I want to show you my fish because I moved them up onto my favorite cabinet here. And people don't realize how big they are. But my fish love, the orange one, is as big as my hand or bigger. And Light's the one that's blind in it has no right eye and its left eye is blind. So it kind of swims around. They're over 9 years old. So yeah, I prefer them there. And the poster that's behind, or the calendar, is of Isis, ISIS. So that's an important picture for me. So anyways, so here's my chat for today, and I'm going to leave it for discussion after I tell you my theory. And then we'll have a little group chat. And then I'll tell you what's going to happen with this channel and other things in my life. So be prepared. So let me take a drink of my delicious coconut milk decaf cappuccino with honey, a little bit of vanilla, and a twitch of cinnamon. Yum, yum. So just bear with me. Okay, this is my theory. And my theory alone, I don't know if it's my theory alone, but it's my theory alone in my house right now. My fish agree with me. So I made this little chart. And here's Raven when she's happy. Oh, I'm going to make sure there's no glare on it. I'm going to maybe move some light, that light. There we go. Now maybe you can see it better. So just want to make sure there's no glare on it and everybody can read it. And you can see my grandparents hanging out right over, way over there on the fridge. It's 333, boom. Okay, so now I drew this little picture, and I call this my avatar, my happy avatar, okay? And then I have a sad avatar. So this is, excuse me, this is how I see all of us humans on Earth, okay? Our love and light vibrations are, this is where we are infinite spirits. This is again, my opinion. So our infinite spirits are what some people would call the God, or a third eye, or the pineal gland, okay? So what we're experiencing right now, to my knowledge, is our two sides of our brains that are half are now getting, oops, I'll use my purple felt pen, are getting interwoven, okay? So they're being connected, and all the tissues here are being connected over top. And all the while, this pineal gland that was once very calcified and full of chemicals and heavy metals, that's slowly getting cleaned off. So what helps that get cleaned off, and I can't write that down, is and makes it happy is this right here. So if you've never heard of that, please look it up because I can't talk about it, okay, on here. So if we think of ourselves as immortal spirits in a biological entity, so we're called immortal, I'll just label it like they do in another document I can't talk about. We are these funny names: immortal, spirit, biological entities. Okay? So we're a bunch of isbies running around, all of us. So what makes us human and different from the very, very dark forces on our planet is they don't have this. They don't have that same consciousness at all, okay? It's not there. It doesn't exist. So they're not the same as us right off the bat, okay? Period. You must know that. And then that's what they give away to the dark forces when they make they bargain with a contract. So basically, most humans are very happy people, full of love and light. And we're all born, our biological entities. I just drew out my avatar and then I put life karma up here. So I put all the bad stuff that, we experience. Every one of us experience through life. Every single person has an addiction. Every single person, I don't care who you are, I know you're addicted to something. Period. End of story. Trauma is what causes all of those addictions. So then we go into these, the negative loop tapes of fear, guilt, shame, and insecurities. So this is how I see life myself. Some people are born, when you get born, you're right here. We're always right here, meaning God, creator. And that to me is our Christ consciousness. And we are our own judges. This is my understanding of what I think is going on. And we've been robbed from feeling that we were all individual gods, okay? All of us with Christ consciousness. I'm going to write that down. I'll probably, you know what I'm getting at. I'll just abbreviate it because I don't even have room to write it there. Anyways, so what we're coming to now is our body is getting cleaned off, our DNA is getting repaired, and our brain is getting, our pineal gland is getting cleaned off, or pineal gland, or third eye. So it's helping open this up. Now, what this does is it helps open it up into, obviously, your spiritual awakening, right? So some people are born with more power pellets than others, okay? So they'll be born, because I think it is based on our life path numbers, our vibration. So my life path, and you need to look these numbers up and figure out how they are affecting you, because they really do mean a lot. Oh, wait, you can't see that actually, I'll rewrite it. So I'm a life path 3811, okay? And if you want to look that up, go to mojan.com. That's a very good website for looking up your own life path numbers. I'm not going to calculate anybody's. So my life path number is a 3811. What that means is I'm a spiritual teacher doing exactly what I'm doing now. So the 3 in my number is about communication, creativity, and connectivity. It's all about, like, if I was a pure 3, it would be easy for me to be an actor or somebody that's connecting people, or because we live in the moment. If you're a pure number 3, you live right here all of the time. You're in the present. You're usually the life of the party, very fun, outgoing. If you're a true 8, you're very administrative, organized. You're the Post-it notes. Your house is always clean, usually a perfectionist. And people come in and out of your life, and so does money. So those 2 things actually help make me balance. So I think when I was born, because I'm a life path 3811, I was already given the gifts when I chose this meat suit, because we choose our path before we get here. We choose. So billions and billions of lives ago, and even when we come to this, did you learn your lessons through all of these things to go back and, pick kind of, where you're going to go now? So did you learn? Did you achieve more? So this is how I think. My brain works anyways. So everybody has spiritual power pellets. Some people's are closed. They're just like, yeah, I don't believe in that crap at all. When I die, I die. That's it. Zip. I know so many people like that, which is kind of sad actually, but whatever. That's what they chose. That's their own issue. That is what they chose. Okay. So I've always been outdoorsy, a physical person. I like doing physical activities that were like team sports, and I still like being outdoors and walking. I'm just very selective about how that exercise is played out in life. I don't like going to a gym and people sweating all over each other. What the hell for? Go outside. Gross. It's so gross. Gyms are, I think, vain, but whatever. That's me. Some people are born with more emotional intelligence and more empathy or whatever. So has nothing to do with anything. Some people are born with like the ability to be more creative. I don't know how to play music very well. I have to learn stuff. So I don't know how to play the piano. I want to know how to play the piano. So there's things within here that are balanced. I might know how to do one, but not the other, and da-da-da. Do you know what I mean? So, and I'm not going to lie, I prefer this more than most women I know. I'm not going to hide it, but I just don't throw it around like it's bubble gum anymore. I'm just kidding. Maybe. I'm just kidding. So, and then some of us are born with the synapses to fire things and have an understanding really quickly. I call these people like book smart people. They can learn math really quickly and stuff like that. Did not have that gift at birth. I did not. Honestly, I've grown into where I'm at now with charting things out. I've always been a deep thinker, but I've never been able to. I've always been insecure and then not been able to put it on paper. So how I think it works personally. If you live, or here, I'll put some other ones that we really don't like to associate with ourselves. Greed and manipulation, those types of words. And making deals with everybody. Those are all negative vibration stuff. So how I think it works right now and what we're experiencing in the Great Awakening. The Great Awakening is you trusting your plan. Now, your plan is to get your avatar to return all the life karma. So if you have things that piss you off and make you angry, oh yeah, I forgot that big one, anger, because that's what a lot of people are going through right now. People are triggered. I had to take a step back because people were getting triggered. So work it out amongst yourselves, pretty much. So here's my opinion. If you're not figuring out what is ticking you off or what's making you fearful or living in guilt, you're basically going around and around in a loop here in this life path. And you're not getting your power pellets to go up in any of these things here at all. You're just not. You're not helping at all. Your spiritual awakening is going to take a toll, because if you're constantly sitting there going, I'm so full of shame, I'm so full of guilt, I'm so full of, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, and gosh darn it, people really hate me, then you are bringing all of these down every single moment, okay? All of these will go down within yourself. You're not going to want to hang out with people and make out, or on the alternative, you're going to use all of these to get what you want in some of these things. And so some of these people have sexual addictions, or some of these people will say, drink a lot because they have emotional and mental problems, or they'll be addicted to their own trauma and they can't break that cycle. That is the path that they chose. So I think our jobs in trusting our own plan is making sure that we are constantly aware of this. And this is one word that people, I want you to focus on right now. That is the gateway drug. Period. End of story. Okay? So if you can work out through your traumas, and I've had some, I will tell you some of my traumas, so it will let you have an understanding of some of the things that I have had to work through myself, okay? In the last 9 years, 4 people close to me have, or to someone close to my family, have committed suicide. 4. 2 people have had overdosed from drugs recently that were friends of mine. I've been first on scene to 2 accidents where a human being was hit by a vehicle and the second person was a nurse. Okay. I've also been first on scene to about 50 other accidents where people were injured. So here's what I was talking to over the weekend. I bumped into a friend of mine, I'm not going to say who, and I hadn't seen them for a while, and they're struggling with addiction, okay? And it is one day at a time. But the one thing that I had to make myself aware of, because I was very clear on who I was and who I was even to some of you people, okay? And I'm not saying this mean. I had to put my ego aside for a good week and do some understanding of how I want to be a human being helping people go forward. Am I doing it from a place of ego, number one, where I just think I can fix everybody? Or am I doing it from a place of love? Am I doing it from a place of just like, why? What was my motivation? Am I doing it because I'm codependent on that kind of action in my life constantly? You know, I've got the answer for you. I can help you. Part of that is just who I am as a person. It is in my nature and has been since I've been born to run to people to help. I had to figure that out. Like, I'm going to cry, sort. And when my friend approached me with his addiction problem, and I knew he needed me, but I didn't know that I needed him at the same time. So it released all of this guilt, shame, fear, and insecurities that I had with everybody who I felt ripped me off in my life or who triggered me. And some of it was ex-husband stuff. My friend and I had the most brutal, honest talk about why people send sexual energy to each other, how empty it is when you just don't figure out what's triggering you and that shame and insecurity. So you just go have sex with whomever. You're not remembering that when you go and connect in that person's love bubble, you're exchanging their DNA. You're taking on their physical traumas of right where they are in that moment. So I explained to him, I have these friends, Kat and Cash. And when I met Kat, it was a few weeks before I think she met Cash. I might have to get her to correct me on that. And when I met Kat, I thought to myself, this is someone, A, I've known my whole life, and B, I wish I could be as calm and peaceful and loving as her. It's something I strive to do every day. And because, you know, everybody who's been on this roller coaster of truthing knows that people have gotten me triggered and whatever. This girl has been the most balanced human being I guess, in my circle. So of course I was like super attracted to her. And then when she told me, you know, I met somebody or whatever, and I was like, wow, I can't meet this person. When they came across the field that day in the middle of June last year, I saw their children running towards me in spirit before they did. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I'm not even joking. I was like, oh my God, like I could really see you. I could see them. And you know why? Because she was in this space of calm and pure vibration and pure love. And they attracted each other because they're exactly the same. He is the most divine, feminine, masculine energy of any person. I'm very grateful to have them as friends. So they don't know I'm talking about them right now. But I use that. I said to my friend, I'm like, when you see somebody that is in a space that you aspire to on all your spiritual, emotional, and create whatever power pellets, we're not perfect, but we're exactly where we're supposed to be in our growth and our journey. And once we come to the understanding of getting rid of the traumas that are holding us down. So how I explained it to my friend, and this is how I explain it to everybody, okay? And I'm crying because I'm not sad. I'm just so utterly grateful. So let's pretend this is oil, water, and we'll call it the salad fixings, you know, the herbs and spices. So we know when we put oil, water, and salad into a bottle, before we shake it, it separates. The heavy stuff goes to the bottom, the water is in between, and the oil rises to the top, okay? So how I see the spiritual collective evolution of 5D ascension for humanity, okay, is this is how I look at it. 3D, 4D, 5D. So this is why I'm kind of gonna label it like this. Oopsie. Don't need that anyways. 5D. So once you've worked out all of this stuff, rises up to the top. And it may take a while to get through this water spot. But that's what tears are for. That's what tears are for. So every human on the planet, every single human, must go to the inner part of who they are and talk to their higher self from their heart space and ask, what can I do from my love vibration to help me get up to this oil? Because when you're in that oil space, that's where Kat and Cash are. They're in that collective consciousness of knowing and higher vibration where humanity forms the tree of life. And all of our DNA is the flower of life. So you can see our little flowers rising up through this. And all of this stuff is the old paradigm. This is literally, I'm going to put it into perspective, 6,000 years or plus. We've been trying to get everybody into the oil spot. 6,000 years we've been pushed down by dark forces to keep us there, to feed their greed. Period. End of story. They're the ones that give us trauma. Let's talk about most people's trauma for a second, okay? Most people usually have that kind of trauma. I hope you can read that. Or they have financial trauma, or they have like just basically, this addiction trauma. An addiction comes from usually having something else happen to you, like abuse. Let's just say abuse. That's a blanket term for so many things. Abuse, emotional, physical, mental, all of those abuses. So if you put it into a place where in that old life, one person was better than the other. One person always thought they were better than the other. One person always wanted to put you down. 1% wanted to put you down. They pegged us against each other. Buy a book, buy a document you can go look at. I just posted it again, called Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. That is an actual playbook of division on racism, money, status, where you live, hockey teams, this, know this, know this. Like, honestly, every single thing that we've been put against has been put in that old paradigm. So if you realize that that has been given to us to test us in our video game avatar, if we can get through these things like, okay, I'm kicking my addiction. You know what addiction I had? Facebook. I left my Facebook. I let my phone go dead that had my Facebook on it. I haven't removed it. I haven't been on it. Even Messenger, I haven't been on it. I didn't realize, like, holy crap, I went days and days. So you have to remember that is another divisive tool. Okay, it's a divisive tool, and it literally follows eye movements. So if you think it hasn't programmed into the backside and can't be predictive in who we are as humans, you're sadly mistaken. Oh, I was just thinking about yoga pants, and boom, yoga pants pops up everywhere. So, but on a good note, that happened to me the other day because I just mentioned Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, and the feed, the actual thing came up in my video on YouTube, and I just about had a heart attack. So I was like, whoa, and it was from somebody I subscribed to. And I'm not getting my subscribers' videos either. So I'm going through my subscribers and going and looking at their videos like I know a lot of you guys do. So this is what I'm getting at. If you haven't figured out what the answer to all of this is, I'm going to help you right now, okay? It is so easy. And I literally told my friend this the other day. It is so easy, no matter what. No matter what is going on. Oh, I gotta switch this around. In your life, no matter what, you need to do this for you and no one else. Surrender to love. Ex-husband pissed you off? You know, if something happened to that guy, you'd be very, very sad for your children, if you had children, or just for the love that you had together. So what I've been asking myself of is I talk to that person's higher self from my higher self. And I go to them and I'm like, you would have done better if you knew better. You would have done better if you knew better. So one of the ways that we can do this is first have an understanding of who you are as a person. And I really do believe that the vibration of your life path number has a lot to do with it. And the more I talk to certain specific numbers of friends, it gives me a better understanding of who they are. And so this will help the number 7s out there. Number 7s have to do things on their own and learn their own life path. They can't be told, nothing. Life path 11s like me are very intuitive. We automatically have a higher sense of psychic intuition than most. So, and when we come to this full love of our number and how that journey got us there, and the traumas that we've been able to surrender to love. And like, honestly, I changed my name to Raven quite a few years ago because I was getting a lot of negative 3D energy, and I liked having the anonymity behind the name. And I was given the name anyways by one of the accidents, I'll just say, where a person was hit and killed. It brings me to a point where everything that anyone has done, if it's darkness, I put that darkness into like, and this is what I did with my ascension painting or whatever, even in art, is you put the darkness there in a middle, and you don't have to do anything specific. You can just literally write a list of everything. I believe in making a list of things that pissed you off, but I believe in making a list and saying those things that pissed you off. And I mean everything. You need forgiveness about any of these things. Make your list. I forgive myself for being angry, for, having a dog put down, for telling my ex, like I was never a name caller, but one time I called him fat lazy bastard or some shit like that after he said some bullshit to me. That was it was worse than what I said to him, but I still feel guilty about that. Just let it go. Not let it go, but surrender it to love. So whatever it is, you put it in there, and I always like to draw a heart around it to give it the visual, right? And then I just simply color it in and say, I surrender you to love. Everyone knows how to do hearts, and everybody knows how to do little black circles. So there's zero excuse for that. Zero. So it's a little exercise that you can do. And I think it's really, really, really critical to start figuring out how you can solve your life problems by literally, I forgive you, mom and dad. I chose you. I literally chose my parents. My kids chose me. Ha 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 ha. I said to a friend not too long ago, I said, if your kid gets mad at you like teenagers usually do, I said, well, you picked me. It seems like a you problem, not a me problem. I still love you. And that's all we have to do right now is just keep loving ourselves. Like, remember to love your journey. Love all of the lessons. And people have addictions upon addictions, and that's okay. That's what we've been programmed to do. All of us have had addictions, and we've all been programmed. So we're unprogramming ourselves. So the unprogramming is literally what people would have called selfish before or egotistical. Look in a mirror every day and say, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you. And thank you. Thank you. I forgive you and thank you. I love you. I forgive you. I thank you. And I surrender this journey to love because it will help me rise to the oil vibrations where literally anybody can come up to you. It used to trigger me before, and I honestly have been doing so much. We need to keep on this, people. Keep on surrendering to love. Surrender, 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 okay? It's completely the time for it right now. So people they're like, oh, I don't trust TRUMP. Well, then trust yourself, okay? Trust yourself. What are you doing to make your journey better? So I'm going to write something that's really important that every single person around the country needs to hear, around the world, actually, around the world. Every single person in your country, please, I implore you to go find the actual proper oath for, whoops, now that pen's dried out because I left the lid off. That's my own fault. I had a deja vu about this. Okay, now, this is your responsibility. Number one responsibility, okay? So I don't know if you saw that guy in the Toronto airport, but it has a lot to do with this. He wasn't doing any of this stuff, but he was basically, in your passport, it says this, you have the right to travel freely. So if you land in Canada, you can literally say, no, I do not comply or consent. And they take your name and say you refuse. Whoop-de-doo. You can refuse. He had a mask exemption, and a doctor's note. And he basically filmed all the police there and they let him go. And he did it from one spot to another. They can't do anything to you when you land in Canada. Zero. You can say no to all of this stuff. Okay? The one thing people need to learn, especially in Canada right now, is this. And in Australia and in the UK, like those kinds of countries where it's like where we're relying on the lizard breath, okay, for paying all of our money to. That's no longer. So because in Canada, we don't have a governor general right now, we're literally a bunch of people, sovereign beings, people don't know they're sovereign, running around here, okay? They need to empower themselves with this knowledge. And why I say I'm sovereign, because I hold zero attachment to anything a government official can do to me, okay? That's what I mean, okay? You can't arrest me for doing no harm, and that's what this means. So we need to keep practicing these terms, because this is what natural law is too. You don't steal, you don't rape, you don't pillage, you don't beat someone up, you don't push, you don't shove, you don't. And property is intellectual property as well, okay? So that is our property. So these are words that I want to teach you. Property, trespassing, and the biggest word is travel. Okay? We are living beings. All right. So common law is like 10 commandments, period. Natural law, same thing. So we are free to travel as living beings without somebody trespassing on our property. Our property is my apartment. I pay rent here. Yeah, it's communal property, but no one can come into my property without my permission. That's trespassing. No one can steal my intellectual property, okay? No one can actually come at me as an armed agent of the law of a corporation because I don't understand those laws. So this is how I'm going to teach you that I taught the police when they videotaped me trying to intimidate me, I think one day. Didn't work at all. So look that I took the stickies off. So LAW. This is what we're taking back right now. This is trust, corporate. And this is I'm going to spell that wrong. You got the hint. And okay. So okay, this is why we need to educate people on their rights, okay? So, land, we as living beings, we have rights here that no one can take away. Nobody can take away our free will. Going back to this, right here, okay? No one can take away your free will to travel the land at all. No one. No one, no one. Zero. Oh yeah, the other one, the biggest one I should put here. The other one that was passed that would fit in this is 1947. And I want to say it's 6 section, maybe. I'm going to write this down. Article 1, maybe. I can't remember. Anyway, section 6, article 1 of that code. But basically, around the globe, no matter where you go, this works to have your free will. No one can force you to do anything, period, because it's going against this crime. Then if you go against this, it's period, plain and simple, crimes against humanity. End of story. So, for example, if you're being forced to go get one of these things upon landing, that's a crime against humanity, period. So what they're fighting with right now is this stuff, all of these things operated in this system of money. I'll just put the I up here, and computers. All of that operated on the system of all of this being connected at these points. They talk to each other. Money and computers. Okay? So I want to tell you about a vision I had the other day. I was remote viewing on purpose. Sometimes it doesn't happen on purpose. But I had a vision, and this is super cool because I told a couple people, I had a vision that I was actually looking very intently in my third eye. You just simply have to close and concentrate and focus on your breathing, calm breathing, and lay in comfortable position. It's not that hard. And I felt tired, but it's right at that point where you're not sleeping, but you're gonna fall asleep, but you're thinking about things. So I was focusing just on my third eye and what I would see in there. And I saw this turn, like it just dissolved. It was golden and it just like evaporated like this. And then it turned into this big, huge, swirling ball of gold. And it was like I could see all of these little dots all over, and all of those dots had energy. It was like the biggest swirling dots. So to me, it was like exactly what I drew here is our global system falling away and those old paradigms. And I want to show you this too, because all of those old paradigms in that system had a lot to do with like feeding a big system on money and feeding a big thing on, like, we all know what the SRA. So basically the whole of humanity is pushing their way up here. Don't be sad. We have help. Help is here. It's been here for a long time. So know that that energy that's surrounding each one of us is so visual to a lot of people now. To many of my friends that tune in and go off planet or whatever. And some people just can't grasp that. That sounds crazy to me. But you need to grasp that we're billions of years old. And who knows who we were in our former life. And so a lot of the things too that we're working through is our parents' problems, was our grandparents' problems. My cellular DNA has a grandfather that was in a concentration camp for 2 years and then raised my father. Wasn't mean to my father, but that cellular DNA and the guilt and shame that came with my father being born in Germany in 1947, that wasn't a big hit. There was people, literally, my grandfather had his arm cut off because he had numbers on it. So the whole reason I started this whole process of exploring my own path last year, even more further, when I found out about the whole epidemic of the 3D world out there and what they were doing to us, I ignited that part of my DNA of my grandfather who survived the concentration camp. And I used it, I think, for my benefit of not complying in this life. So that's how I think my avatar has come to where I am now. I don't think I'm better. I don't think I'm anything different than, I just think I'm different because every person, their DNA was coded with this, because this is what we chose before we got here. So why are we bothering anymore with the concerns about what color our toast is? You know, who cares what color this is? Who cares if my name was really Raven when I was born? Like, who cares? The only thing we should be caring about is absolutely sending out that love vibration every day throughout its practice and its hard work. But it starts at home with you. Literally, it starts at home with you. So that's why I asked, what are you doing with your life? Are you getting out of bed every morning and feeding that victim bear? Oh, poor me. I was born poor white trash. I had a shitty life. I got abused when I was younger, blah, blah, blah. I've been raped. No, it lets them win. You know what wins? Love. Love. That's why love wins. So if you're in a do no harm vibe and you want the best for humanity and you feel like we're all equal, which I do, I don't think anyone's better than me. I don't think anybody is worse than me. They've done crappy things based on their trauma. So you have to be able to get to the point of surrounding the darkest of dark and putting love and light around that entire situation. And I keep doing that every day. And it has to come from working through your own individual problems. So love will win all in the end. Love will win. I do firmly believe that. And please do your inner work and have an understanding of who you are. So it'll help you on your journey. But I want everybody to get familiar with this right away. It's very important to know your rights and what to say. In Alberta here, the health legislation is expired. I'm walking into restaurants and saying, they can't do anything about that. It's expired. I'm walking to the store and telling people it's expired. If people aren't aware that it's expired because they're just looking at a box, I told my landlord, it's expired. Take that stuff down. It's expired. Encourage people to breathe fresh air. Let's go. Let's all go, because that's part of sending the love. Just, I love you, brother or sister out there, but you need to take that off because it's expired. Quit hurting yourself. I really want to send that message out. So, but I love you very much for everyone that you are. I'm going to do a quick card reading, as I always do. And I want to tell you before I do the card reading, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen in the next week with my stuff. So this channel, with the exception of today's chart, on Friday and Saturday nights, I will only be doing live videos on this station with group chats. And I'll be doing paintings, and I won't be talking about any truth news. Yeah. I am creating a BitChute account, which I will announce on Friday and put the link on the station on Friday. And that will have all my uploaded videos of my current charts. I'll be recording some interviews with some people, and all of the things are going to be pre-recorded, put on BitChute, comments turned off. Yeah, no comments. So on the truth news anymore. It's just to the point where I love you all, but this is where we come to the understanding and discernment of our own vibrations. I am not giving my opinion about anybody anymore. Like what happened, it's just not important in my vibration. And if I've worked through that trigger and I'm still pissing you off, then that seems again like a you problem, not a me problem. So I personally feel like it's best for my overall mental health to keep it simple, do the charts, give the information, send it out into the universe, just like my Telegram account. And yesterday, I want to thank all the people who joined my Telegram group chat, because there was one amount of people in that group chat. So thank you very much for everybody who goes in that group chat. So I will be keeping only my Telegram charts, Telegram group chat. That's where people can, that's where I'll communicate with everybody. So if you're not in that chat, well, I'd say get Telegram. Telegram is where it's at. I am not going back on Crackbook. So other than to get a couple of really good videos that I hope are downloaded on there, like panties in Walmart and stuff like that. So I'm going to go try and find those. And then I'm going to make a Telegram channel specifically and only for art videos to help people with their creativity. So I've had a few people ask me for art lessons and stuff one-off. So I'm going to be doing that. But I have been producing a lot of art also in the last week. I've got a number of commissions that I'm working on at the same time. Plus I shipped off a lot last week. So I'm balancing my stuff that pays the bills with stuff that is the truth and getting into a better routine, because I was all over the place. And I had to go show some art. Yeah, I might later on tonight. I was going to pop in and maybe do a little painting with everybody tonight before Friday. Oh, that coffee is so good. You know, when you make a coffee and it's like one of the best coffees you've ever made for probably about a month, and you just are like, and this cup keeps it really perfect temperature. So there was a big shift on the 19th, if everybody felt right mental. Also yesterday I went to Unschool and we did some really amazing art. So it was super fun. We got paint on these cards the other night, so I better make sure that they're all pull apartable. I think it's fun when you have paint on literally everything you own. I'm going to be on here on YouTube. Yes, tonight. Yes. I'll let you know where the other accounts are. But just for ease and flow, this being art, I'm going to keep it art. Because I've helped a lot of people apparently tap into their creativity. So thank you for all your paintings that you're sending me and all your artwork. It's amazing. And don't think that it's not good enough. It's good enough. Do you know what I made this kid say yesterday? Repeat after me. Everybody has to do it. You ready? Put your hand on your heart. Close your eyes. And you say, I am perfect. I am love. I am light. I am right where I'm supposed to be. I am right where I'm supposed to be, learning what I'm supposed to learn. I am practicing my craft. I may not always be perfect, but I appreciate the practice. You're welcome. Really, that's what I made the kids say yesterday. Oh, there's a card that popped out. So, yes, I appreciate everybody and your vibes. So, yeah, on this channel, I'm just going to be doing art and card readings and not talking about any truth stuff at all. So, yes, thank you. I miss you guys too, but I needed a break. I needed a break. A break was necessary. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, you guys. I would have thought you would have been going into Raven Moonstone and my YouTube and pushing that video button and then going through the 150 videos that are there and reminiscing about the good old days. I'm just kidding. You got novice, trust, and restriction. So let's see what we get. Oh, this is the one I got yesterday. Look at the number. 17. It's the stag. Let me put my spectacles on. Okay, and the top card is fear. Oh, I love it. So this is really good. So when the stag appears on your path, he tells you to take pride in all that you do, be the leader and hold your head high, and others will follow by your example. Oh yeah, I have a good story about that. My middle son. Ask yourself these questions. Am I following my highest path? Am I acting in integrity and doing the best I can? Am I held back by the kind of pride that cuts me off from the life through arrogance or its reverse, low self-esteem? The stag asks you to be a leader, be proactive with the highest intentions, and always ask, what is the highest good for all? Arrogance and its reverse are both places of alienation and ways to avoid responsibility and accountability. The stag leads you out of both difficult places into the kind of pride that reminds you that you're always in service to the God, Goddess in every step you take. You may be already there, in which case you should be proud and happy. Look how far you come. Rejoice, for the stag always leads to a higher place with sure and steady footing. I think it's funny that these two cards came up when that's how we are just obviously talking about it. Fear. This marker asks you to identify how fear may be affecting you on this part of your journey. Are you afraid of failure? Are you perhaps worried about success and all the changes it brings as it pushes you to be all that you can be? Are you afraid of losing something that you don't yet have? Is your fear valid? Have you seen actual evidence of adversity or trouble? Or are you seeing false evidence which gives the appearance of being real? Fear is a crippling companion and indicates a loss of faith and connection to the divine. Remember that the God, Goddess doesn't give you anything you can't handle. Fear comes from the part that you identifies with separation, division, and form. To release yourself from it, remember that at first and foremost, an infinite soul. Look through those eyes, and the fear will subside as you remember to trust the way of the mystery. Don't struggle with fear. Look inside. See the part of you that is afraid. Send love, light, compassion inward. This would be a very good time to write an inventory of your fears and their possible solutions. I wonder who could have just said that. Once on paper, you may find you've been afraid of fear itself. This is an auspicious moment of transformation. I love, 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 love. I got goosebumps all over my entire body. I really do think it's about love being transformed. I really do. So, yeah. Oh, I wanted to point something out here just so you have an understanding when you go to explain your rights to the officers. You can literally say this. I'll just go over this quickly. Listen, Linda, there's 3 letters of the law, LAW. We've been given tickets and court crap based on the A and the W, things pulled out of the air and out of the water, based on our birth certificates, docked at birth, okay? We're not corporations. These are all for corporations. The mandate is for a corporation. This L trumps all of those. Period. End of story. That's why it's the L. It's first. Okay, so this literally takes precedence over any of that. This is our human rights in Canada. If you see one of these $10 bills, okay, the Bill of Rights is right on the back. I literally keep one of these in my pocket. I'm like, people, arm yourself with this. This is my get out of jail free card. If you don't even have your birth or your passport on you, if you don't have a passport, you still have these rights. The Constitution is the rights in America. So know what your basic rights are. So common law only to me doesn't even include this. It literally is all about just you being able to travel freely as a living being, them not trespassing against your property. And I literally have said this in front of police officers, videotaping at a rally. I don't call them protests. They're not protests. They're freedom rallies. People stop using negative words for the actions that we're doing. These are freedom rallies, okay? We're not making protest signs. We're making rally signs. Little way to switch that wording. Know your wording, positive wording. So these, to me, every single person on the planet has them. This is where people get arrested for doing crap to other people when they shouldn't be doing it. Is this one right here. This is against humans, right here. This is against paper. Humans and land, paper. All paper. So if you know that this doesn't apply to us anymore because it's part of this crappy system, know your rights, please. I implore you. And then while you're educating those officers, you say, I wish you light and love. I surrender you to love, brother and sister. Thank you for doing your job. Thank you. And when you see fire department, paramedics, wave at them, say thank you. They appreciate that too. So, yes, think before you speak. But anyways, know your rights, please, please, please. And we are all love and light beings. All of these arrangements were made years and years ago. Years and years ago. So we made these agreements. So now that we're here to awaken ourselves, then you have a bigger picture. And one of these days, people ask me to do a video about this map. I pulled it down for you. The reason why I'm not going to go specifically over all of this, who has that kind of time? I do not. The only thing I could probably do with this is take a camera and make a video of it and then post it. That's about it. I cannot talk about each one of these individually because I've already been doing that. So, and they link together. A lot of them link together. So that's why I'm not doing a video about that map, just so you know, because that's the new Bible we're writing. That's what we're going through right now. We are writing Bible 2.0. And yeah, so I'm going to be making a video soon called The Jetsons 2.0. So it's very happy. Yeah, so I just wanted to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for letting me give you my message. And just keep surrendering it to love. And know your power. Know your power. We as infinite spirits, the power of our love is 1,000,000 times stronger than the power of fear or anger or darkness. You must know that. That's why Monsters, Inc. was made. Remember when they're all screaming happy? They blew out all the transformers because the earth is that it's abundant. It can handle love like no tomorrow, but it can't handle these negative vibes anymore. That's why they're getting shoved off of all these people. That's what's going on right now. So, and another thing I realized too, that is if you're in the 12-step program, that's honestly kind of like going through the Great Awakening yourself. So if you can tap into the things that have caused you the trauma, that is like a really good understanding of it. Although I don't like the labels of you being an alcoholic or an addict for the rest of your life. I think once you've overcome that, that was your old timeline. It's not your new timeline. It just, you've overcome that part of your DNA. So don't keep carrying around labels, people. Let go of the labels, okay? I am love. I am love, and you are love. And I am grateful. I am eternally grateful for everybody who's in the frequency of love and light vibration and who wants to help humanity. I thank you for spreading this message. I hope it made sense to how to overcome some of this and how important it is for you to do that right now. Because the more you work on your inner self, you are literally helping humanity. You have no idea how powerful you are. So please love yourself. Because I love you unconditionally. Unconditionally. So take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day. And I wish you all the best in your journey and transforming those triggers, in letting that sink to the bottom and know they have there's no place to go once you're residing in that high oil frequency. It's hard to get sucked back down in that tube. So don't let them win. Love wins. So, and we're all the oil together. So take care, everyone. Love and light to everybody.